welcome to the EMBN Show. I'm Martyn Ashton, and this guy is...
Richard Payne.
Well done. You did it. You remembered. We've got a great show lined up. We're going to be talking about some new bikes. The Berria Stratos and the Optibike R17,
Yes.
to be specific. And we're going to be talking about demo days, Rich.
Exciting.
And some lesser-known brands. Yeah.
All that and much, much more coming up. Okay, well, first up, Mark, like we said, we're going to talk about some lesser-known brands out there, some e-bike unknowns.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to most of those later on, but the Berria brand is in that category. I had never
heard of them.
Yeah, the Berria Stratos is their new e-bike.
Yeah.
Spanish brand. They've got 3 models in the range of the Stratos. All models have the SRAM Eagle powertrain motor, which is 90 newton meters of torque and 720 watt-hour battery. The 250 watt-hour battery extender is optional.
A nice range extender.
Yeah, the motor's been mounted vertical instead of the inclined position. I can't really understand how you could mount it not vertical, because it would have to be in the top tube to do that. Am I right?
I'm not sure you are.
I just think that's one of those things.
Mounted vertical.
Mounted vertical. I need a Steve Jones to answer me that.
Yeah, we do. Now, interestingly enough, it said they went through 33 different prototypes before being happy with the finished products, and riders are able to customise bikes before purchasing to choose things like wheels, handlebars and cranks, so like a bike builder kind of thing going on. So that's quite cool.
Yeah, nice. Compatible with 160 and 170 front suspension, has 160 at the rear, mixed wheel sizes.
Crazy.
Otherwise known as a bike, and geo-wise, head tube angle of 64.5 degrees, seat tube angle 76, 490 mil reach in length. Prices, hold on to something, $8,499 for the Berria Stratos 8. The 9, surprisingly, goes up in price. $9,999, and the Berria Stratos limited edition, $12,900. That's a lot of limited edition, isn't it? €12,999. Yeah. Now, look, it's not a bad looking bike, okay? Looking at it.
Yeah.
But the thing, and this might be why I don't know about this brand, but I went on the website. I urge you guys to go and look at the website, right? The language, the word soup that consists on this website about this bike is either something's been lost in literal translation. I don't know, from Spanish to English or from Chinese to Spanish to English. I don't know, right?
Yeah.
Or ChatGPT had too many drinks and gave them the words of what they should say. It's mind-boggling, some of this blurb. So if for entertainment alone, go on and have a read. It's the sentences make sense, but not necessarily in the words you would have chosen. There's words like protocol in there, you know?
Ad hoc.
Yeah, it's very
ad hoc.
It's very weird, and it just doesn't give you the vibe that this is the bike for, well, any human on Earth. But the bike looks good.
It does look good.
The bike looks alright.
Yeah, it does look good. No, I think better
the
than
words. It means a lot to me. The words feel weird. They feel weird.
Right, next on our obscure, lesser-known bike brands, we've got the Optibike R17 Carbon EMTB.
Yes.
Now...
Powerful.
Yes.
That's the word I'd say to this.
1,500, 1,000... Words are struggling.
Yeah,
numbers.
It's a big number.
150 newton meters, and there's a 1,630 watt-hour battery.
Yeah, it's they do an Everest version of the R17, which is actually got 2 of those batteries, and is said to be able to climb Mount Everest on one single charge.
I mean,
you heard me right. That's what I just said. You can ride it up Mount Everest in distance, and yeah, it's a big old battery. It is pretty weighty, 31 kilograms.
I'm reading dual-sided torque sensors.
Yeah, it's actually comparable.
Sorry, go on. You go.
Compatible with roll-off derailleur, with derailleur or the roll-off 14-speed internal gears, but it is chain drive. Okay.
Yes.
And it's 27.5-inch wheels. EU version is limited, but the US version goes 20 miles per hour. I feel like it could go faster than that.
Oh man, de-restricted version with that battery on it as well.
Yeah, well, we wouldn't do that.
No.
We wouldn't do that.
Please send us one so we can do that.
I mean, they think it's got like it can go 100 miles in a single
Range.
charge.
Yeah, not mile an hour. De-restricted.
Yes, de-restricted, we're unsure. But yeah, it's
it's a monster as well.
Now, what do you think about that in terms of the philosophy? Well, the philosophy of a bike like that. Such a big range.
Yeah.
Has it really got a place, or are you really at that point better off? Because you've got a lot of frame under you there, a lot of weight.
That's a lot of bike.
It's a lot of bike. I'm not saying it's wrong. Let us know in the comments down below what you think about a bike like that. Such a massive battery, such massive range, but obviously a lot of weight. And you know, in the EU it is restricted. So are you really getting what you could out of a motor like that? I mean,
it depends how big the hills are around your way, maybe.
I mean, 1,700 watts of continuous motor power.
Yes, it's a monster.
I feel like there's something else we could do with it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
fast.
Genuinely intrigued.
Yeah.
I do think if you want to send us one, we could do some pretty interesting stuff with that, I reckon.
Yeah, it would be quite fun to use that one, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Let us know what you think in the comments down below. Mm-hmm. Right, let's get on to talking about demo days. Their use, their point, and when are they?
You've thrown so many questions at me there.
Answer them.
Their use is to try new bikes you may not otherwise get the chance to try. Their point? Same thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I asked twice. I asked twice to make sure you knew the answer.
Oh, well, okay.
But let's talk about when some of them are, because they are really great days. Anna did a really good video about demo days, actually. So this is sort of off the back of watching that video that we're talking about it. But there are some demo days, because, you know, it's the beginning of the year in terms of riding season. And there's some dates popping up, and you go along, try the bikes that you're hoping to spend quite a lot of money on, and it's a great chance to ride them. So here's a few to think about. All of these demo days will have all the bikes, great terrain to ride, and lots of people to ask questions. So they're all very much the same in that sense, but ones to look out for: Canyon Collective Festival, Forest of Dean, May the 11th to May 12th.
In the UK, that one?
That's the UK, yes.
E-Bike Days in Munich, that's the 26th to the 28th of April. At the Olympia Park and over Olympiaberg.
Yeah, I like the sound of that, riding over Olympiaberg. Cool. Leisure Lakes, Northern Demo Weekend, that's back in the UK, 25th and 26th of May at Gisborne Forest. We'll have over 100 mountain bikes and electric bikes to
Martyn,
ride.
this one's not even just a demo day, this is a festival.
Wow,
yes.
Come on.
The Berria e-bike festival, taking place for the 5th time, 15th to 18th of August. The Bosch e-mountain bike challenge, all sorts going on, loads of brands. That one sounds like a good one.
Yeah, and here's another one for you. Wheelbase Big Demo Weekend 2024, back in the UK again, Lake District, 27th to 28th of April, held at the flagship store in the village of Staveley in Kendal, Cumbria. Nice. There'll be it says here, huge fleet.
It's in capital letters.
It must be brilliant.
That's big.
It must be absolutely brilliant. Right, let's take a little moment here to let Owen take us through one of his little technical tips.
1 minute wonder, all about tyre pressure. Why is it so important? Well, there's a lot to compress in a minute. It's really important because if you're doing mountain biking right, it should be your only point of contact with the ground. And if you get it right, you will roll quicker, you'll have more grip. If you do it wrong, so if you've got too little air pressure, too low pressure, you might burp your tyre where you can rapidly lose air between the gap between the bead and the rim. If you've got too high a pressure, well, you just won't get as much grip and it'll be probably quite uncomfortable and you'll be pinging off rocks and things. So, setting tyre pressure, 2 methods. So the first one, you'll use your thumb and your palm and your body weight. Pop the thumb over the tyre, pop your hand over the top and compress using your body weight. You want your thumb to sink into the tyre. If you can feel it bottoming out on the rim, you've probably got too low. If it's just sitting in nicely and your hand just allows your thumb to sink in, that's about right. If your thumb doesn't sink in at all and your hand is crushing it, you need to drop it. The other method is to use a digital tyre gauge and play with pressures. You will need more pressure in the rear than you will need in the front, and that's because you've got a different weight balance. Do check manufacturer's recommendations as well. So you might need to have more pressure than you think. Carcasses will change, but both methods allow for a little bit of difference. And the key thing is tyre pressure is the best way to optimise your bike, and it's really simple to do. So go play.
Cool places.
Cool places.
Places that are cool.
So cool.
Oh my God, where have you been? Let's find out.
First up is from Aaron.
Yeah.
It's his white E180 Works MX in Skiddaw House Loop.
And it looks like a cool place, that.
Doesn't it? It fits the bill.
Yeah.
It really does fit the bill.
Yeah.
Great shot. And I tell you what, I bet a day like that, you know, it looks like it's not the warmest day in the world, you'll know that you've been out on your bike.
Yes, yes.
Very
Next
cool place.
up, Rito, Specialized Turbo Levocomp Alloy in Kleselb, Switzerland. Isn't Switzerland just a big old postcard?
Yeah, Rito says he climbed up the local mountain bike route to have a view over the big chunk of West Switzerland. Enjoyed some beautiful trails.
Very nice.
He did.
Very nice indeed.
He did.
We don't really rate them, do we? These are just cool. They're all cool places.
Well, they're all cool. They've been rated by definition.
Yeah.
So that's fantastic.
And this next one is a banger. Have a look at that, Mark. It's a banger.
You rated it.
Yeah, true. This is John on his Canyon Spectral on in Ullswater. Loop up to Helvellyn via Dolly Wagon and back down Stick Pass. Cracking names as well.
Yeah, I tell you, of the cool places we've looked at, that
does.
is a hell of a shot.
It's a really good shot, actually.
Hell of a shot. Very
very nice. Thank you, John.
Paul with his Polle Voima. Did I say that right?
You did indeed,
Voima?
correct.
The location, Cowhouse Bank at the edge of the North Yorkshire Moors. I've ridden my motorcycle there. It's fabulous.
Is it?
Yeah, it's really, really beautiful.
Okay.
Old Giffer enjoying motor power and deep comfort shock travel. Love it.
Nice,
Love
nice.
it. Ridden that Polle, have you?
No, not the e-bike. No e-bike Polles. No, only the normal ones.
Normal ones.
But those are today's cool places. Now, don't forget, keep them coming in. We do love to see where you and your bike are exploring. Uploader is linked down below. Is it working, Mark? Well, they'll find out when they click on it.
Yeah, or if you can't get through on the old uploader at the moment because there are some technicals, then why don't you go over to the Instagram account? You can DM them, boys, and send them loads of messages, like tons of messages, absolutely hundreds, because they'll all be up there going, stop the messages.
They will, won't they?
Well, specifically Toff will be just dealing with it right now. Yeah, send another one now. Send another one, like if you just did one.
Send another one.
And then
different
in a
angle.
minute, send another one.
Just tag EMBN
Like,
on
Toff,
everything.
just talk to me, man. Try and get a conversation going with Toff
His mind will blow.
on DMs on EMBN Instagram. Feedback. No, nothing. Didn't get any.
That wasn't at all.
No.
Anyway, right. First up, some feedback from you guys on the recent XC bike versus e-bike video. That was one I did against sort of Steve.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
How did you do?
The e-bike defeated me on a normal bike. But Richard Morale wants to know, I just want to know which centre this was filmed at. Great and informative vid, though. Oh, well, first, thank you very much. That was actually filmed at the Forest of Dean, like we just mentioned during those demo days, here in the southwest of the UK. It's just about southwest.
Yeah. You'd think as you went there, you'd more know sort of specific location, like of where you actually went in terms of like this country. I mean, you know, London left.
Yeah, West London.
It's in the UK, all right? Just come, you'll find it.
It is in the sort of north-southwest. No, that sounds worse.
You're getting worse. Go on, keep going.
It's the north of the southwest.
Wow.
This is the southwest, and
Okay.
it's the north
so
of it.
we've now moved into a new area of like categorisation. We've gone north.
Yeah,
Of a place.
of the southwest.
And now we're in a little bubble now.
Yeah.
And we're looking at north, south, east, west again.
just east
And we're...
of Wales, which is on the west. I feel like I made that quite clear.
Next question is from Dave with a mullet.
Nice hair.
Or wheels. Who knows? What type of biker are you and what bike should we buy video is what he'd like to ask a question about. He's interested in the cycle to work scheme.
Gotcha.
He's interested in an EMTB.
Gotcha.
But basically his question is, should he get a full sus EMTB? Will it still work on the roads? You know, he wants the full sus to divert off and ride a little bit of downhill here and there.
Okay.
But will it still work on the roads? I think when you've got the e-bike power, you can basically truck on.
Yeah.
No worries.
My controversial opinion, e-bike hardtails suck.
I don't know if that is controversial because I think
Fact.
Steve thinks the same.
Does he?
I don't know. Maybe he's not allowed to say that out loud.
So I just think, I get them, e-bike, e-hardtails. But as soon as you take them off-road, they are quite uncomfortable, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's a lot of weight to be carrying around.
Get a full sus. It's going to be much more versatile. It's not going to be quite as efficient on the road, but tyres actually will make a huge difference over whether it's a full sus or hardtail. And you'll obviously open up many more avenues you can go downhill.
Great answer, Rich.
Thank you, mate.
We recently did a video, how to save money when you buy an EMTB.
Ah, yes.
And Zonoska wanted to know, what about buying a lower spec bike? What do you need to look for? What downgrades are worth it? God, that's a good question. And a million videos.
Oh,
that's hard
man. Yeah, okay.
Try and answer that.
What do you need to look for and what downgrades are worth it? So first up, if we're talking sort of a full sus e-bike, I think brakes are very important. That's always something I think are quite crucial on an e-bike. With just obviously with the weight that you've got, you want to be able to slow down efficiently and effectively. When it comes to a drivetrain, actually lower spec drivetrains I think are very good sometimes because they're actually made from steel parts instead of aluminium parts, things slightly harder wearing.
And I guess your previous answer is also still true for this, isn't it? Is it really worth downgrading to a hardtail? Maybe not.
No, and then aluminium, can't go wrong with a metal bike. I know we're very lucky to ride a lot of carbon bikes on the channel, but e-bikes go through a lot of shit, so having a metal one will last longer.
Yeah, great answer. Thank you for those questions. Take a look at the vids we've got coming out this week, and if you want to drop a question in there, we'll be looking at the comments and we might be answering your question next week in this very moment in the show. How pathetic. Now, in focus, where we take a look into some thoughts about the EMTB scene and what we're thinking about this week are brands that you might not have heard of, lesser known brands, but might have a bit of a history you weren't aware of. And I'm going to start with this one, right? Because this brand makes me think of a specific person, okay?
Oh, really?
Corratec, okay? They've been around for quite a while.
It rings a bell.
1962, apparently.
That's a while.
They've been in sporting goods. Now, this brand has got modern day EMTBs. We'll go into them in a second. But I remember this brand. I don't know if you remember the Bow bikes. Corratec Bow bikes.
Bear with me.
They used to have like double tube top tube that was curved from the head tube all the way through the seat stay and down to the rear axle. And so they've got this kind of heritage, especially over in Germany, of like a brand with a specific look.
Okay.
But these days, as you look at their new e-bikes, and if we look at their e-Power RS140 EL Pro,
rolls off the tongue.
It's that image has gone.
Yeah, completely.
It isn't
That's
there anymore. No. I mean,
looks like a session.
I mean, it's not. I mean, look at it. It's 6,599 euros. Bosch Performance Line SX motor, 400 watt-hour battery, 150 mil front, 140 rear travel. Said to be under 20 kilograms.
That's actually a good weight, isn't it?
But I tell you what, I looked on their website a little bit more,
Of course
and
you
I
did.
found my new bike. Whoa! Whoa! Where should I sit? Up front or at the rear? This thing's amazing. Let me know in the comments down below. Should me and Steve go on a journey on this bike?
I'd love to see that.
Corratec, get in touch.
Yes.
I like the look of it a lot. That is the Life S Dual P5. But what I like to call it is...
The wagon.
What would I call it? I'd call it Operation Trail Storm. Next lesser-known brand that might have a history you weren't aware of, and this one I've really got a bit of a connection with because I used to ride for them.
That's it, trials.
Hey, look, I'm an old school trials rider. Most of my stories are trials related.
Yeah,
That's not a big surprise, is it? That's not a big surprise.
So what's the brand?
Hang on a minute, aren't your stories all about boring mountain biking? Yes, they are. Megamo Bikes is our next brand that you might not have known of. Yeah, I used to be sponsored by them.
Nice.
Sadly for trials riding, I'm afraid. But there we are. I had a season on Megamo Bikes. Good fun. But yeah, they've got a good history. They've actually won lots of races in cross country. They've a very successful brand. But yeah, one of those brands you might not know of. But they have got the Crave AL05 e-bike out.
Yeah.
Models in their entire range from 4,649 to 8,399.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, the Crave AL Gravity range. What can we say about it? Shimano EPA01.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
85 newton meters, 762 watt-hour batteries. You know, bang on for the money. 150mm front. Travel 29 all round. 490 reach again in a large. You know, that's sort of the kind of go-to number. 63.5 head angle, which is pretty slack actually. I quite like that.
But yeah, they don't get a lot of attention here in the UK, that's for sure.
No, much like Velomont bikes.
Well, they should get some attention in the UK because they are from here.
I never heard of them.
And no, I haven't heard of them. They do basically a bespoke build, which is pretty cool, which means you can basically use their frame and forks and then put the components onto it in a bespoke nature. Their ideology is basically they're fed up with having big boxes sent over from the Far East. So the idea is everything comes in small, compact boxes, much less shipping, and then they build it at their factory in the UK to custom orders, which I quite like. You can also have custom colours as well.
Another name that rolls off the tongue though, the ND95 V1.0.
Oh yeah, I had a
one?
nightmare about names, and that was one of them.
But I mean, you know, it's around £6,000, 29-inch wheels again. Bafang motor putting out 95 newton meters, so that's a bit more powerful again. I quite like that. 450 watt-hour Bafang battery, 170 front, 150 rear, so that's quite cool. Carbon frame, you know, pretty tidy again. Like, you know, good, solid-looking bikes.
Give their website a look. Why not? Why not?
Quickly, last but not least, then Berria Bikes, another one.
Before we go on, Rich.
Oh no.
I've just thought, going back to that name, the ND95 V10, right? I just thought a better name would be like Jeffrey.
Imagine. Oh, that would be the dream.
Why don't people call their bikes actual names?
Oh my God.
Because that one's just like pointless numbers and letters, but if you called one Jeffrey.
Yeah, there is the Jeff C. He's sort of, our cameraman's like,
No,
but no, I get it, like...
No, don't pretend Jeff C's like a name.
I've got the Velomont...
Have you ever met anyone called Jeff C?
Yeah, my granddad's sister.
Well, we know who he is.
Your granddad's sister!
It's called Jeff C.
Wow.
You f***ing liar.
Hey, what bike do you ride, Mark? I've got the Velomont Reginald.
Actually, you could be like, hey, dude, what bike do you ride? Oh, the Jeffrey. Oh, the YT Jeff C. No. The Velomont Jeffrey.
Oh, no. The Jeffrey.
Next brand is Berria Bikes, one you might not have heard of, but we have that, haven't we, Rich?
No. What?
That was the bike we talked about at the start of the show.
Oh!
Berria Bikes. Yeah, Berria Bikes. They've also got another bike that's not using the SRAM suite. This is the Cayman, and it's got a Bosch Performance CX Gen 4 smart system, 85 newton meters of torque, 750 watt-hour battery, 29-inch wheels, 150mm front suspension, and 140 rear.
I thought you said Barry. I have heard of Berria Bikes.
Berria Bikes.
Barry.
Yeah, Berria Bikes, much smaller brand.
Different.
Much smaller brand, yes.
Boutique.
It's got adjustable geometry thanks to a flip chip, which we always like to see.
Yeah.
Does anyone use those? Do they?
I do. Banger in the slackest, leave a B. Wow, I just listened to that back in my head.
The Cayman's nice looking bike. Yeah, that's interesting.
Sorry.
£5,799. Okay, it's time for the bike vault. Get us out of here, man. Get us out of here. Okay, time for the bike vault, and we're starting with a Fantic from William.
Fantastic, Fantic.
Fantic for me. Guess where I love Fantic
Motorbikes,
from? Motorbike
trials,
trials. Yeah, all right. I may have said this before.
This is from William. Elm Ridge, hanging out on the trails, doing some epic runs with Brando, my trail dog.
Is the
Hounds and what's the thing
Hounds
we do?
and Beagles.
Send it in to us on Dirt Shed. It's better anyway, and you can be featured on Hounds and Beagles.
Never a true word said.
No.
Thank you, William. That's a very nice bike.
Yeah.
Next
Wow,
up,
this
we
is
have
cool.
got Alan's Mondraker Crafty XR from the Forest 4 in Cardiff. I may not have said that well. Fower. Forest Fower.
New bike,
can't speak
first ride out. That's nice. So with the Olins on, I like that a lot. And controversial, I like the D-Maxes on it. You know D-Maxes?
Yeah.
It used to be bright yellow and stuff, which I think actually would be a bit much, but I like the D-Maxes on this as well.
Yeah, it's
Very
a lot
nice.
of yellow. It would be too much.
Yeah.
Super nice, that one, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Ooh, Dan's 2021 Orbea Rise M-Team.
From Bearbrook State Park, New Hampshire, USA. Testing limits of over-forking and over-shocking to 170, 160.
Yeah, got
That's a lot on that little bike.
little range extender on there, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, there is indeed, buddy.
And I tell you what, am I imagining it, Rich, but is the geometry of that 2021 bike already looking a bit dated? Or am I imagining it?
He's thrown it out a little with because he's bumped up the travel.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
that's
so
what it is.
you're probably thinking, oh, that's quite a slack seat tube angle. And he's bumped up to 170 on the front, when I think, if I remember off the top of my head, they're 150s at the front normally.
God damn, you're good, Rich. God damn it.
Thank you.
Next up, Susie's 2022 Polygon MT Bromo N8.
Nice, don't see many of the polygons.
No, this is in Althea MTB Park in Lithia, Florida.
Wow, okay.
Trying the new Coral Snake jump at Althea River.
Get
MTB
on, good
Park.
work.
God, I made a meal of that.
You did. That's cool though, isn't it? Big vented rotors. What else we got? Dropper.
Yeah, and I just hope she did not enter. That's all I hope. It says one way. Do not enter.
38s on it. Super nice. If we give super nices, we're giving a super nice.
Oh, I like this. This is Tobias's Marin Alpine Trail E1 near Stonehenge.
Oh, okay.
Just over the other side of that fence it is Stonehenge.
Wow,
Literally.
and what a nice fence that is. Good bit of shiplap.
Yeah.
Anyway, first e-bike, and he loves it.
Yeah,
I hope it's good enough for the new bike vault. Well, do you know what? It is, because you're on it.
You're on it, and it's a super
nice. Very.
It's a super nice, and do you know why I like it?
Go on.
Clear branding. I know what I'm getting. It's a Marin.
I like it for the coil shock.
Marin or Marin?
Marin.
Marin.
Ah.
Yeah. I'd say Marin, but I've heard so many Americans say Marin. I feel a
We're
bit
not
like
American, mate.
Yeah. But anyway, that's all we've got time for this week on the EMBN Show. Thanks for joining us. Make sure you don't miss any of our videos this week. And we'll see you next week.
Well, I want to ask him a quick question.
Well, I don't know if you've got enough battery to do it.
Quickly, let us know in the comments down below, would you consider buying a lesser known brand? Let me know in the comments down below. It's been an absolute pleasure. See you later. Goodbye.